would you navigate if we'll say victim of abuse, so the person who's not the toxic person in the marriage when it was going on, but the result of the abuse has caused them to become sort of toxic. They react, they yell, they use substances. How would you navigate that type of situation when they were not the original abuser, they're still not an abuser, but they are exhibiting unstable behaviors and it's affecting the child?
We often see that, Angelica, as a GAL and as practitioners in the field. And that's what I think we've discussed as situational toxicity, where the parties wind up reacting to each other. As a GAL, I would recommend therapy for both parties and probably the children too, so that everyone in the family unit has a safe, constructive space to discuss and process through those feelings. And hopefully for the parents to be able to learn how to co-parent again, productively and constructively without harming their children. We may look back at the history of this marriage and be able to say, yes, you weren't the original abuser. Well, there's an understanding that this is a response and perhaps a perfectly normal response. The court is more concerned with what is harming the children. That has to be the court's primary concern. And parents, no matter what is happening with them, their primary responsibility as far as the court is concerned is to take care of their children, no matter what's going on in their lives, including this divorce. So, as Kristin said, we see parents that enlist children as sort of pawns or adultify the children and think that it's helping them when in fact, helping them in their legal case, when in fact it's damaging their children. And the court looks very poorly upon that type of behavior.
And I could add to that as well. If we're representing the client who maybe is the toxic person in the relationship, you would want to advise them of that, as Maureen said, that, I know you're trying to get the kids on your side, but actually the judge is really going to hold this against you saying this or doing this. And also I would encourage them to, think about if you send your spouse these kinds of emails, this is how they react. And sometimes it's in front of the kids and that hurts your children. So I know, sometimes people don't think of that chain of events. And another thing is you want to remind that client that yes, you're maybe getting back at that other person by prolonging this process and all of that, but it's also affecting your client negatively. They're going to be spending more legal fees. They're going to be spending more of their life and time in court, and they're going to be damaging potentially their children by, prolonging this high conflict situation. So you just want to advise them as best you can and encourage them to think about what they write and what they say, especially with respect to the kids and communications with their spouse.
Angelica, if someone wants to reach out to you to talk more about how you can support them through their divorce, what's a good way for them to do that?
They can either call or text me at 857-800-9798, or they can reach me on my website, www.breakthroughloveyourlife.com, or I can be reached on Psychology Today. All you have to do is Google my name and Psychology Today, and my profile should pop up.
If you would like to learn more about your legal options in a divorce or family law case, you can schedule a free legal consultation with the team at Turco Legal by calling 866-995-6663 or visiting turcolegal.com. Thank you for tuning in.